I made a horrible mistake that cost legitimately $4 million. Like a single mistake cost Lyla and I $4 million. And when I told Lyla, she said, "I'm so sorry that happened to you." She's like,
Really?
that's it.
That's awesome.
That's it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you
What was
can't
the- what
ask
was the
for more than
mistake?
that. It goes into buying a company that had a related party kind of buyer who then disappeared at post transaction. So that $4 million just evaporated. But you know, it's a totally different horrible story. But
Yeah.
you know, like I know that there are wives out there who'd be like, "You idiot," you know.
Right.
And
What are you doing?
Yeah, and she's just like, "I know you're sad. I'm sorry that happened to you." And that's, I mean, I can't tell you what a blessing it is to have a partner like that, right, in life for everything.
One of the things that you said that struck me out when we first got started is like trying to figure out how to buy food. And Peter and I both have our own, stories like this, right? And I remember starting my first company. It was around the same time as you were starting yours. This was 97, 98.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember buying a PC. My wife was a school teacher who was off for the summer. Thought she was getting paid for the summer, but turns out she was only getting paychecks. Like your paycheck had been divided by however many pay periods during the school year. So anyway, we thought we had this money that we didn't have. We literally spent every penny that we had buying a PC. It was a gateway PC. So that's remember the big cow boxes, right? So and this thing was like $3,000, and that's literally every single penny that we had. And we would have parties, like have friends over to our apartment, because if we had friends over, they would bring beer.
Bring stuff.
But it wasn't about drinking beer, right? They would bring beer, but then they would leave the empties, the cans. So we could take the cans back, get at the time, it was probably more now, but it was like a nickel on these cans, and be able to buy like bread and peanut butter.
Wow.
Like when you come from that place, right? Mm-hmm. Like when you come from that kind of sort of that real poverty mindset, right? It really truly does make things easier in a way, right?
I got to tell you, it's one of those things where I'm so glad we met when we both were destitute.
Right.
There was no like, well, I'm bringing some funds into this marriage. And, it's just like, which, people that are, when they're older and they get married, like there's kind of a wealth imbalance. Maybe like we were both less than zero.
Should we sign a prenup or like,
exactly.
What do we do? Do we like split the loaf of bread in the middle and like you take half, I take it? Like what?
Yeah, my net worth is negative. Your net worth is negative. Like, let's do it. Well, they say that most marriages end because people are disagreeing about money, right? I mean, they're fighting about, we need to make more money. You're not making enough money. We're spending too much money. I feel like there has to be an understanding amongst the married couple that this is going to be hard, and we're not going to have the money that our friends do, and we're going to appear to be driving pieces of crap cars when they have like a nice car, and we're it's a level of sacrifice where I feel like if one or the other isn't in, I don't know if you do it. We were so fortunate in that we were both exactly aligned. To this day we are, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we're aligned on kind of valuing kind of experiences over physical stuff, and not buying kind of for status, and we were that way at the beginning. Lyla and I had 100% trust. And it was kind of like a business partner that you could talk to 100% honestly about anything going on in the business, good or bad, and you knew that they would be kind of understanding, right?
What was your wife's situation at this point? Was she in the same, that kind of level of anxiety and everything that you were, or was she like more of a balance to where you were?
Much more balanced. And one of the things that happened too is, we had 3 kids. And so, she was working just as hard, but she would also be like, hey, I got to take care of this crying baby, right? And so, and by the way, we brought all our kids to the office every day. It was like a daycare, right? It was just like, we're walking into a meeting, like holding a baby, and she was just set up better. I think it's weird if I said, hey, Lyla, like, let's go sit in this park, but the park says like it closes at 6 p.m. and it's like 6:15, she'll start to get like really nervous, right? Like, hey, we're breaking the law. And I'll be like, I don't care, right? We have certain different tolerances, but when it comes to like, Lila, if we don't do this, like we could lose this customer, she would kind of be like, is that the end of the world? And I'd be like, yes, it is. And she'd be like, no, we'll be okay, you know? So
Yeah.
I think much more balanced. A partnership works really well. I've generally seen in other people that not necessarily married, but just business partners, you typically have that kind of difference in temperament. Like if there were two of me's, the business would have just like exploded,